All right, so we have already done about now the article number 32, which is your right to constitutional remedies. And therein you saw a word which we talked about as the writ, and it was given in the constitution itself. I hope you remember. In article 32 itself, if you notice here, it was mentioned that what all kind of writs can be issued by the Supreme Court in this case under article 32: habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari. And therefore, it is important for us to understand about the details of these writs. So, this lecture is focused on that. So, now we'll try to understand the different kinds of writs. Now, when we move on to that, definitely the first thing that we'll have to understand that what are writs, which I have already told you. These are also the kind of orders, but each writ has its own specificity. Like, it is meant for a specific purpose. And this power of issuing this writ is under two courts for the time being. For the time being, why I am telling? Because we have seen this provision that Parliament can also do this. But ठीक है, उस पर अभी आते हैं. So under Article 32, this power of issuing writs lie with the Supreme Court. Under Article 26, the same power of issuing these writs lie also with the High Courts. ठीक है? So this is already mandated by the Constitution, given by the Constitution. Okay. However, we have also seen a provision that under Article 32, if Parliament wants, they can make a law and they can empower any other court, which will include any kind of subordinate court, to issue these writs. However, it has not yet been done. So presently only High Courts and the Supreme Court has the power to issue writs. But there is a possibility that if Parliament want, they can give this power to any other court also, and that is also constitutionally they have got this power via Article 32. Now before 1950, only the High Courts of Calcutta, क्योंकि उसके पहले हम रिपब्लिक तो नहीं बने थे, सो कैलकटा, बॉम्बे, मद्रास, जो आपके कॉलोनियल टाइम्स की प्रेसिडेंसीज हुआ करती थी, ओनली दे हैड these high courts could issue the writs. Definitely later, the other high courts also started to issue the writs. Now, this whole concept has been borrowed from the British law, या फिर you call it as the English law. वहाँ पे इसको प्रेरोगेटिव रिट बोलते हैं. अर्लियर व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग, सो ब्रिटेन में पहले जो वहाँ का मोनार्क रहेगा, राजा रानी जो भी, सो द मोनार्क वुड get the right, or was actually getting, or was having the right rather, not getting but having the right to issue the writs. धीरे धीरे क्या होने लगा, वहाँ से the power shifted to the high courts also to issue the writs. But English में change ऐसे हुआ कि monarch फिर the courts, and that is known as prerogative writ. तो ये जो idea है पूरा, that is borrowed from here only. But when we say that both Supreme Court and High Courts have the power to issue the writs, there are differences between them. There are multiple differences. One is definitely that it is covered under different articles, one of which already is a fundamental right, another is not. Okay, that is the basic difference. But there are multiple other differences between the jurisdiction of Supreme Court and High Court in issuing the writs, and therefore this has to be very specifically done by you. Firstly, अगर हम बात करते हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट, सो दिस कॉलम इज़ अबाउट सुप्रीम कोर्ट, दिस कॉलम इज़ अबाउट हाई कोर्ट. सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात करते हैं, सो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के केस में दिस रिट जुरिस्डिक्शन विल हैपन ओनली फॉर द इन्फोर्समेंट ऑफ द फंडामेंटल राइट्स. अंडर आर्टिकल 32, सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज़ गॉट दिस पावर that only for fundamental rights they can issue the writs. For no other rights it is given under Article 32. But High Courts के case में, because 226 is not covering about the fundamental rights, so here the High Courts can issue the writs for the fundamental rights also and for any other ordinary legal right also. ठीक है? So if somebody asks you that which of these, Supreme Court or High Court, has wider power in terms of issuing the writs, so you will have to see कि इस matter में, like what they are covering to issue the writ, इस matter में the wider power lies with the High Court, because they can issue the writs both for fundamental rights and for any ordinary legal right. However, the Supreme Court can issue the writs only for the enforcement of the fundamental rights. Then comes another parameter. Against whom can these courts issue the writs? Supreme Court can issue the writs against a person also or government also throughout the territory of India. So against whom and what is the jurisdiction? Territorial jurisdiction. So they can do this throughout the territory of India. And here the high courts can issue the writs against a person who will be residing or against a government or authority which will be located within its territorial jurisdiction only. Here the whole territory of India, here only under the territorial jurisdiction of the high court, because each of the high court has got its own territorial jurisdiction कि आपको यहीं का मामला कंसिडर करना है, ठीक है. So here the issue is कि इस मैटर में whose power will you say is wider? Definitely Supreme Court, because territory of India is covered, ठीक है. यहाँ पे outside case में they can do this but only if the cause of action arises within its jurisdiction, ठीक है. तो outside अगर वो इंसान चला गया लेकिन उसका जो एक्शन हुआ था वो कोर्ट के हाई कोर्ट के जुरिस्डिक्शन में हुआ था, ओनली देन दे कैन इशू दैट रिट. अच्छा, अनदर पैरामीटर इज दैट सुप्रीम कोर्ट कैन नॉट रिफ्यूज टू एक्सरसाइज दिस जुरिस्डिक्शन. दिस वी हैव सीन अर्लियर ऑल्सो. वाई कैन नॉट दे रिफ्यूज? बिकॉज द रेमेडी दैट पीपल गेट अंडर आर्टिकल 32 इज इटसेल्फ अ फंडामेंटल राइट विच इन नो वे कैन बी वायलेटेड, ठीक है. And Article 32 also is a basic structure or a part of the basic structure which is a basic feature of the Constitution. Supreme Court को 32 के अंदर मैंडेशन है कि आपकी तो ये जिम्मेदारी है because you are said to be the guarantor of the fundamental right, defender of the fundamental right. Supreme Court मना नहीं कर सकते. But High Court के केस में because the remedy under Article 226 is discretionary, it is not a fundamental right. Therefore, the High Court can refuse. The High Court may or may not refuse to issue any writ. ठीक है. Now we move on to see the different kinds of the writs. जो 5 नाम आपने अभी देखे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, ये 5 नाम, इसको डिटेल में समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. And both Article 32 and 226 covers these 5 kind of writs. The first is habeas corpus, very famous and very prominent to be used. ये हमने preventive detention के केस में भी mention करा था, but we have not discussed it in detail, so here we'll try to focus. Do not go by everything that is written on the screen by now because otherwise you will get confused. Just focus on whatever keywords I am pointing out because these are the short notes that I have made from the book, so you will get confused if you start reading on your own. So just focus on my voice and the text that I will be pointing towards, okay? And at a time only one thing that will be covering. तो अभी आपको इसके नीचे का कुछ भी नहीं समझना है, अभी हमारा सिर्फ फोकस रहेगा on the habeas corpus, okay? Now habeas corpus writ का जो literal meaning है वो कहता है to have the body of. Now see, every other writ will also have some meaning attached to it in, you know, to be understood because these languages will not understand. So to be understood in a simpler terms, the meaning attached to it is to have the body of. मतलब the person who is arrested, उसकी physical presence हमें चाहिए. We need the physical presence of the body of the person arrested. That is habeas corpus basically. ठीक है. अगर आप लोगों ने दृश्यम मूवी देखी होगी, जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ पीपल हु वॉच दिस, तो वहाँ पर एक सीन है जहाँ अजय देवगन जो है, आई थिंक इन द कैंटीन इज ईटिंग एंड देयर वाज दिस ओल्ड कपल. काफ़ी पहले मैंने मूवी देखी है तो आई कैन नॉट एग्जैक्टली रिकॉल इट, बट ओल्ड कपल केम एंड यू नो दे वांटेड द प्रोटेक्शन फ्रॉम दैट पुलिसमैन जो इनको हैरेस कर रहा होता था. सो and because Ajay Devgan used to watch so many movies, so he had all of these ideas despite of not being that educated, but he used the term habeas corpus. ठीक है. तो ये आप इन केस यू आर वॉचिंग इट और मे बी यू वॉच इट सम अदर टाइम, जस्ट हैव दिस रेफरेंस तो आपको एकदम से समझ आ जाएगा. एनीवेज मूविंग अहेड, सो टू हैव द बॉडी ऑफ द पर्सन अरेस्टेड, तो यहाँ पे जो कोर्ट्स रहेंगे दे कैन इशू द ऑर्डर टू अ पर्सन हु हैज़ डिटेन्ड अनदर पर्सन, क्योंकि कोई ऑफिसर ही होगा ना जिस किसी को अरेस्ट करेगा और डिटेन करेगा. सो इफ़ the person who has arrested or detained another person, the person will be asked to produce the body of the latter person before it. Produce the body means physically, आप जैसे उसमें था ना कि मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने लेके जाना है within 24 hours. ठीक है, जब हम नॉर्मल डिटेंशन वाली केस की बात कर रहे थे। तो यहाँ पर आपको क्या ध्यान रखना है कि प्रोड्यूसिंग द बॉडी मीन्स शोइंग द बॉडी, मतलब फिजिकली प्रेजेंस, ठीक है। देन व्हाट विल हैपन, देयर विल बी एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ द कॉज एंड लीगैलिटी ऑफ द डिटेंशन, दिस ऑल्सो वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट, ठीक है। तो अब पर्सन क्यों डिटेन किया गया है उसका कॉज और लीगैलिटी चेक की जाएगी, देखा जाएगा कि इफ़ द कॉज ऑफ अरेस्ट इज़ राइट और नॉट, और द लीगैलिटी इज़ देयर और नॉट. If that is found to be true, then detention will continue. If the detention is found to be illegal, person will be set free. Why do we have such mechanism? So that the authority which is in charge of detaining the person does not make illegal use of it, or illegally use it. So to prevent that and to prevent the right of the person, we have this mechanism. And this writ can be issued against both the public authority and private individuals also. So if any private individual under any power is arresting, or any public authority as such is arresting, दोनों के अगेंस्ट में ये इशू जो है कोर्ट्स कर सकती हैं हेबस कॉर्पस का रिट. बट दिस इज़ नॉट इशूड इन सर्टेन केसेस. नाउ व्हाट आर द केसेस अंडर विच दिस रिट कैन नॉट बी इशूड. फर्स्ट, अगर डिटेंशन लॉफुल है, पहले से अगर पता है डिटेंशन लॉफुल है, then it cannot be done. Then अगर proceeding is for the contempt of a legislature or court, तो अगर कोर्ट या लेजिस्लेचर के contempt is अवमानना, which means you're disrespecting. So if disrespect happens for the legislature or the court, and in that case, because of that disrespect, if the proceeding is being done, then that arrest or detention में भी ये नहीं applicable होगा, क्योंकि बिल्कुल पता है कि the reason is very much clear. देन डिटेंशन बाय अ कॉम्पिटेंट कोर्ट, अगर कोई कोर्ट है जिसके पास ऑलरेडी वो अधिकार है कि वो ये कर सकें, तो कोई कोर्ट विच इज़ कॉम्पिटेंट, विच हैज़ दिस राइट टू डू, इफ दैट इज़ डूइंग, देन दैट इज़ ओके टू बी एक्सेप्टेड. And if the matter is outside the court's jurisdiction, then definitely the court cannot issue the habeas corpus writ. ठीक है, मूविंग ऑन. द मैंडेमस, इनको ना आप थोड़ा टाइम ले लेकर आराम से, दीज आर जस्ट 5 of them, so do not have to worry. Just focus on each and every word written in the book. If you do not find it comfortable to go through these notes, just use the book to read it. Give it time, give each of the writs time to understand, remember what it is applicable for, against whom it can be issued, who is the authority issuing, etc etc. ठीक है, चलिए मैंडेमस पे आते हैं. मैंडेमस नाम से आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि थोड़ा सा नहीं, दिस इज साउंडिंग सिमिलर टू द वर्ड कमांड. So the another meaning that, or easier meaning that we attach to it is we command. Who will be we? Definitely the courts. ठीक है. So here the courts are commanding. Commanding what? So this can be issued by the court to a public official to perform official duties in case of failure or refusal to perform. Understand this. This writ, when issued, directs activity of somebody or authority or individual, that we are commanding you, that you are not fulfilling your duty, you have failed in the case of performing your official duty, or you're refusing to perform your official duty, so we are commanding you that do this. Okay, this is the interpretation. So this is issued against any public body, any corporation, any inferior court. So any superior court will do it to the inferior court, tribunal, government, etc. But it cannot be issued in what cases? Against any private individual or body. Focus here. This was being issued under private individual also, but not this. Okay. Then to enforce the departmental instruction that does not possess statutory force. So अगर डिपार्टमेंट में किसी सीनियर ने कोई इंस्ट्रक्शन दे दिया, सो इफ़ देयर आर एनी डिपार्टमेंटल इंस्ट्रक्शन बट दैट इज़ जस्ट फॉर द पर्सनल मोटिव, दैट इज़ नॉट हैविंग एनी बैकिंग ऑफ लॉ और स्टैट्यूट, सो इफ़ दैट इज़ देयर, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग हैज़ टू बी डन इन लीगैलिटी, सो इट हैज़ टू हैव सम बैकिंग ऑफ द स्टैट्यूटरी फोर्स. लॉ का कुछ बैकिंग होना चाहिए, तभी तो कोर्ट उसमें बीच में आएगी ना. So if there is just departmental instruction, that cannot be said to be an official duty because it will not have an statutory force. So in that case, it cannot be applied. Also, it will not be issued when the duty is discretionary and not mandatory. So let's say if there is certain duty which is said to be that if you do this, it's good. So if it is like, just discretion is given to the person. So अगर mandatory नहीं है तो again you cannot command, because if it is not mandatory, any person can refuse to do perform that duty. Another thing, when it will not apply, to enforce a contractual obligation. So if there is contract between organizations or something, in that case it will not be applied, because again it has to be official, it has to be having the backing of the law. And against president or governor, chief justice of high court acting in the judicial capacity, against these people this cannot be issued. I mean these offices, this cannot be issued. Moving on to the next one, which is prohibition. ये तो नाम से ही ईजी है समझना, दैट इज टू प्रोहिबिट और टू फोरबिड, टू not let it happen. So it is issued by a higher court to a lower court or a tribunal, which means Supreme Court can do this to High Court, or High Court can do this to any other subordinate court, or any one of them can do this to the tribunal. So hierarchy will follow. To prevent it from exceeding its jurisdiction or usurping a non-possessed jurisdiction. Understand? यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा था, द डायरेक्शन वॉज गिवन दैट यू डू दिस, यू आर सपोज टू डू दिस एंड यू आर नॉट डूइंग दिस, सो वी आर asking you, we are commanding you that you do this. Here they are stopping them from doing something, that you are going beyond your jurisdiction, right? So this is directing inactivity, that we are asking you to not act. So it is going beyond jurisdiction, or you are taking charge of some non-possessed jurisdiction which is not your possession and you are still doing it. ठीक है, so this is directing inactivity, and therefore it is only preventive in nature, that you do not exceed your jurisdiction. Definitely such kind of things will be issued only against the judicial authority, चाहे वो directly courts हो या फिर any quasi judicial authority like a tribunal, and it is not issued against any administrative authority, legislative body, or private individual or private parties. Certiorari. Certiorari कहता है to be certified or informed. These words will itself give you the idea that what word you will have to remember it with. यहाँ पर this is issued by a higher court to a lower court or tribunal, either to transfer a case pending with the latter to itself. So let's say if Supreme Court is ordering it, issuing it for any particular high court of any particular state, so let's say there was some case pending with this high court. So now the Supreme Court is issuing this certiorari, that we are certifying that you give this pending case to us. ठीक है? Or they can also say that we will not let this case be with you anymore. They may issue the case to some other body, some other court also. But to take away that case from that particular court, or to ask that you give this case to us. So they are issued on grounds of excess of jurisdiction, definitely, कि अगर किसी कोर्ट ने दूसरे का मामला ले लिया, या फिर lack or error of any law, if the law is not very clear about something, so Supreme Court, let's say, will take it upon itself to carry on the work, etc. So this is in the nature of both preventive and curative. What is preventive? That to prevent something from happening. So if you're getting this idea, like something has not happened, but to prevent it from happening beforehand only you take a decision. And what is curative? That something has happened, now to cure that from further any kind of issue, development of any issue, you take that responsibility. जैसे कहते हैं ना, prevention is better than cure. So what is prevention? That you are beforehand taking those precautionary steps. Now cure is that already कहते हैं ना, cure हो जाओगे. So if something has already happened, then you get cured. So but this is in the nature of both. This is in the nature of only preventive. अच्छा, 1991 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये भी कहा that this certiorari writ can also be issued against administrative authority. Judicial और quasi judicial के लिए तो हो ही रहा था. For example, this is only against the judicial and quasi judicial, not against administrative. So earlier in this also administrative authorities were not considered, but from 1991 onwards they got considered. However, legislative body or any kind of private individual body are not considered under this. Moving on, the last one, which is your quo warranto. It says by what authority or warrant. What is the power that you have to do this? So this will be issued by the court to inquire. Definitely if you're asking this question that what is your authority or warrant, जैसे कहते हैं ना अरेस्ट वारंट, सर्च वारंट, स्टे वारंट, ठीक है, ये सब होता है ना. तो इफ़ यू डू नॉट हैव एन अरेस्ट वारंट यू कैन नॉट अरेस्ट अ पर्सन. सर्च वारंट नहीं है तो आप किसी की तलाशी नहीं ले सकते, ठीक है. सो बेसिकली यू नीड टू हैव सम अथॉरिटी और सम पावर टू डू दैट. सो द कोर्ट विल इंक्वायर into legality of the claim of a person to a public office. So if a person is claiming something about a public office, in this case how much legality prevails in that case will be inquired by the court. What is the idea of having this? So that it prevents any kind of illegal usurpation of public office by a person, कि उसमें लीगैलिटी होनी चाहिए, नहीं तो इलीगल तरीके से वो इंसान उस ऑफिस पर कब्जा कर सकता है. This is issued only in the case of a substantive public office of a permanent character. This you have to notice that the character of the office will be permanent. मतलब you know something which is not just done for a temporary purpose. कि okay we have an objective to fulfill that, we create a body and this body will only function till this objective is fulfilled. Once this objective is fulfilled, this body will no longer remain in sustenance. Such kind of bodies will not be covered. So only those public offices which are of a permanent character created by a statute, जो एक लॉ से बना हो, या फिर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडीज़ जो होती हैं जो कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से ही बना गया हो, वैसे ऑफिस के लिए ये काउंट होगा. इट कैन नॉट बी इशूड इन द केस ऑफ मिनिस्टेरियल ऑफिस और एनी काइंड ऑफ प्राइवेट ऑफिस, ठीक है. एंड इट कैन बी सॉट बाय एन इंटरेस्टेड पर्सन एंड नॉट नेसेसरीली बाय अग्रीव्ड पर्सन. Now this point is important because all the other 4 writs जो हमने देखा, that writ when the court will issue, so that will be done on the request of the persons who were aggrieved, who faced certain issue, they went to the court and then the court issued these writs. All the earlier were falling in the same category, but this particular quo warranto, it can be sought by an interested person also. A person who is not herself or himself suffering or not aggrieved can also go and ask for the inquiry. ठीक है, चलिए, because here the matter is of the public office. So with this I end our discussion on the types of writs, and this also finishes the idea of the fundamental rights. एक छोटी सी चीज़ है जो fundamental rights में बच रही है, very very smaller topic, which is about the criticisms to fundamental rights and rights outside part 3. Very smaller thing to be done, just these 2 slides. So very smaller video will be the next one. And also I will give you this list, tell you that what are the topics of fundamental rights you will find in different lectures, because this topic I have done in a scattered manner to relate it to the other topics that we were doing. And some topics of fundamental rights we did it in the previous video also. Previous, I mean initial few lectures. So just to give you a comprehensive list so that you do not get confused, we'll take the next video, which is going to be very very smaller in duration. So do watch it. So thank you guys. Take care till then. Bye bye.